I don't like them anymore. Cause
We are here in Ottawa, Canada with the Killer Dwarfs.
Oh man, that was wrong. That was wrong on so many levels.
We're back. You're back. It's been a long time. New album. Start at One.
New old album, yes.
New album. What's the story on Start at One?
The story on Start at One
For the 50th time.
for the 50,000th time. Back in the early 90s, we were with Epic in the 80s and 90s. Epic Records, Sony out of New York
Cheap
City.
Tricks label.
Yeah, we
Michael Jackson's
yes,
label.
Yeah, Cheap
In the
Trick.
day.
Cheap Trick and all those great
Allman
and
Brothers.
everything.
Allman Brothers. There you go.
They're interrupting my story. Anyways,
Go ahead.
so yeah, all those great bands, and 93, 94 came around, and the music changed, and hair metal or heavy metal or what was not
That's right.
in favor or anything at that point. So we got dropped from Epic,
We fulfilled
Which
our
was an
contract.
epic mistake.
One thing I will say, on the dropping, our timing was amazing. You remember this, right?
I'll believe
We were
anything
on
you
our
tell me.
third album. We had a 3-record deal. So we actually fulfilled our contract and just didn't re-sign.
I
I,
would've-
like that better.
Okay, I'll-
Right, that's all.
I'll go with that.
It just feels better.
That's
Epic
sounds-
dropped us.
I
No,
like
they
that.
didn't. They just didn't re-sign us.
How you frame
Yeah,
it? Really
that's
down.
Can you say that all in Spanish?
I can
Okay,
say it in
thank you.
French. Okay.
But anyway, so like we got dropped, or we left them, and
Right. We left.
we were
It was a mutual party.
yeah, and we had a bunch of tunes still, and we thought, oh well, let's shop some tunes around and stuff. So we basically went in and made a demo, and this is basically a glorified demo, except for we kind of went over the top with it and did a full.
But have you touched these up in 2013?
No, we
14?
haven't. When we decided to release it, we were originally going to go in and remix it. We thought, let's go in and because the technology, this is 20 years old, we could maybe enhance it and stuff. And then as we got into it and we got the tapes and we transferred everything, and then we thought, well, this isn't really. We want it to be the way it was. It was sounding good the way it was, and it's more like a time capsule. And if we had screwed around with it, kind of would have lost the.
One thing we did do, we put it in a microwave oven. And we turned that on, and it came out.
Like
Plastic
and
on
it enhanced it.
like the old
With
like
plastic
video.
on it.
Stan
Yeah,
Tall
I
is-
seem
it
to
worked
Is that the Stan Tall video?
It worked
Yeah.
for that.
I
Yeah,
seem to
Stan
recall
Tall.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's basically what we did.
But,
we
all right.
we
We
remastered
didn't have
it.
Andy Johns, all right? We produced it, and it's
It's
Fred-
sad that
Fred
he
Duvall.
passed away,
Yeah.
but
It is
we
sad.
love it.
But okay, here we are
Yeah, we
20
were
years
done.
later. Why have you decided to get the whole dwarf thing up and running again?
Because we're broke.
Well, that's certainly a good reason
I like
for
that.
it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Our
man.
lawn mowing
No.
jobs because it's winter out there.
That's right.
No, man. No, in all seriousness, like it's
I
really
like the
this
broke
is,
thing.
yeah, this is kind of between Russ and I.
Right.
Really. We're the founding members of the Killer Dwarfs, and we love all the dwarfs that have been in the band over the years and all that. But we actually are friends, unlike a lot of bands, and we've kind of stayed in touch throughout other bands that I've been in. I've been in other
Right.
acts.
And through lawyers.
Yes, and,
Yes.
well, this is on the hiatus,
Have you-
Killer Dwarfs hiatus. We've all been
Right.
tried to stay current, right, and just tried to stay busy in the music
Yeah.
business because
But-
we're full-time musicians.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
people who forget you did Laidlaw and
Yeah.
Ottoman.
Right.
And then, of course,
And
you did
Russ-
Russ Dwarf, you did the
Yeah,
Wireless,
Penny Black.
Penny
Yeah,
Black.
Penny Black, way back. Yeah, so
But we
That
did.
was,
But
that was
what
a
we,
great album. That's gotta
Thank
come-
you very
it's gotta
much.
Come back out
Thank you very
somehow.
much. It would be great. Originally, we did a reunion in 2001,
Right.
and we did the DVD.
Reunion of Scribes.
Reunion of Scribes.
right.
And the live album that came with it and everything. But I think we were a little ahead of ourselves. I think,
Well, and it was 911, man. It was kind of a dark time. We came
Yeah.
out at 911.
I know.
We were touring in America when the world
The
was
world
ending.
but
collapsed.
still, overall, I think we were ahead of ourselves. Like, now seems to be the time where all the people from our
There was a
genre are back and
resurgence-
everything.
There was a
right?
resurgence of 80s rock.
Well, you're also doing the Monsters of Rock tour. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
Tour, the
yeah, the
cruise.
Yeah.
The cruise.
Let's
yeah.
talk about
Awesome.
that. I mean, on a boat for what, 4 days?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that we've decided we didn't answer the question. That Russ and I actually just talked, and the timing, as he was saying, is now, and we've had other influences of people working within our camp right now that have pushed us to get back
Yeah.
together. Actually, they've
Right.
coaxed us.
With this record
You know,
and everything
and-
was the beginning of it, and we
Yeah.
all sat down. We brought Jerry Dwarf in, who
Right.
was on
From
the
Method
the
of
Madness.
Yeah.
And we asked Ron Bo if he wanted to join in on this with us, and he declined He's got his own situation going on, and so we took Johnny Fenton from Dunk's band Ottoman, the bass player, and basically,
Great band.
yeah, and
Great fit.
we
though.
thought,
Johnny was a great fit. He's
So,
just easy.
yeah,
for
we
us.
all got together and
Russ
said,
Darrell
let's try this and see if we can go out and not
All
kill
right, so let's try this. What's the purpose? Are we just doing a few shows, or are we going to try to get another album going? Are we going to try new material? Or?
Well, I'll tell my side, and we'll see if it matches his. So my side of it is, I want to see the band just not break up now again, ever. Like, there's no reason for the Killer Dwarfs to break up, because we run our own world.
Right.
So if people will have us play and tour a couple months a year,
Right.
we'll do it. Is that not how you feel?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do it. I mean, there's no
we enjoy
reason
it.
for and we
It's
really
fun.
the chemistry of this band is great.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites out of all
Yeah.
the bands.
really is.
we've had.
Yeah, we have fun, and that's
It's a
the
fun
main
show.
thing, right? You know, at this point, we really don't have anything to prove to anybody, and you know, we're not a new band, and people
No.
that come and see us obviously know who we
But
are.
are you interested in making new music, or is it like?
We'd like to do that, and we've talked about that too, and that's a scary situation too, because you know we do have a big catalog that everybody knows, and it's, you know, for this album is new to people, right?
Right.
And we're only doing one song from this record, but we have talked about that. We'll see what this year brings. Right now, you know, we're pretty much working every month up to November right now, so we're just gonna do this and see, you know.
You got to think we've been going for 10 years, so really our next 2 years is just trying to build back
Yeah.
in the markets and play our hits and work this record. Really, we can work this for 2 years right now. The world's a big place.
Yeah.
We're really
But it's just fun.
we're concentrating on America right now. We're doing a lot of dates there this year. Like
Is it
festivals
tougher
and
touring
stuff.
now than it was in 2001, and then back in the 90s?
Absolutely.
You don't have tour support from the label and stuff like that.
It's hard
But-
and everything, but it's a mom and pop operation, and you know the main thing with us is we get along, and we can travel with each other. We don't want to kill each other and stuff, you know. So that's a big hurdle.
Yeah, because we're not on tour buses and stuff.
Yeah, you
anymore,
know what I
man.
mean. We're
It's
doing
just-
our own thing, and it's a different thing. But we like I said, we have nothing to prove. It's fun. We're enjoying all those other years that we probably weren't really
the
enjoying
bands-
it enough.
And the biggest thing for me, and for him too, obviously, is when we did do our Virgin American tour
Right.
last September, the love from the fans is what worked. It's
Yeah.
like they're there. Maybe they were only, not in the masses in the beginning in some of the smaller clubs we played in New York City and some of these places,
All right.
but the fan base came out. They're there. They're older, but they came out, and they're like, you guys are.
We're working on the embryo audience now.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Let me ask you about the
They're
whole
there.
The Facebook, Twitter thing. You know, I was at
Good
the
luck
club
translating
before, and
that.
I got a picture of you at sound check, and I tweeted it out on myself, and then I saw that
Yeah.
Killer Dwarfs.
I love it.
How does that
I love
affect you? How does
social
that
media.
change? I mean, because
I love
now
it.
when you go down that Virgin
Russ,
tour,
not so much, but
well, he's on there.
No, he is.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Him and his other ego.
Really, it's
his
me.
other alter
Yeah.
egos.
No, but
Alfred, the butler.
How does that
Yeah.
affect you as a band coming back, especially going into the States? In
It's
Canada,
been
we know
way-
you. Now,
well,
Ottawa, Toronto,
it's-
we know the Dwarfs.
Getting the word out has been, come
Yeah.
on, man.
But
Have you
it's-
heard it
No,
2001?
I know, but you
Yeah,
think
but when you
like
go down to
gold.
Nashville,
Yeah. Well, when
people
you-
go, "Who's that?" But now with this,
Yeah,
they're
but
like, "Oh, they're coming
that's
in."
the thing with the new media and everything. You know,
It's-
years ago you'd
Yeah.
you'd do an interview, you know, like in a magazine, and that
And
would come
3
out 3
months
months
later-
later. And if that person
I've
bought that
been there.
magazine, now it's like, okay, tomorrow you're gonna have this on the internet or whatever. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Well, I
It's-
gotta tell you, just
it's
as an
like-
interviewer, I remember interviewing
just at the
like
sound
Dio
check.
and stuff like that years ago, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is coming out in 4 months, so I got to ask you questions about 4 months
Yeah.
down the road. So I'd be like,
You've done radio shows like that.
I know, and you're like, okay, I'm at a show tonight, but now I have to pretend that the tour's over, and
We did that.
But look what
I know.
look what it's like now. Tonight you're at soundcheck and you can make a picture and
Send it out.
Say, "I am at the soundcheck
it's
right
already
now."
been retweeted
It's
around
amazing.
the world by
Yeah.
Killer Dwarfs.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think
You
it's
know,
amazing.
there's pros
can
and
help
cons
you
to the whole
in a
thing.
big way, like getting
Yeah.
the word out. Well, it's got the word out on this reunion tenfold from 2001.
Oh, yeah?
In 2001, we didn't have that, and I swear it was
You had
painful.
pigeons and
It
stuff.
was
It's like-
painful to get the word out that we were even back
we
together.
sent
in
pigeons out.
2001.
Remember on that tour?
Yeah,
They had little
carrier
little
pigeons.
little notes.
homing pigeons.
They're
Carrier
back.
pigeons dropped Killer Dwarf pamphlets.
Yeah.
They fell over.
Bad.
But anyway,
That's
this
a
is
lot of
lot
money in
better.
birds.
Let me go just quickly back to new music. If you do it, would you
15 minutes.
Make, yeah, we're running out, but let's. If we do it, do we do singles or albums?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think singles. I think it's like 1972.
So I've seen a couple of guys like Sammy Hagar and Honeymoon Suite. They throw up just a song every so often, and then other people say, "No, it's got to be an album. It's got to be an album."
I don't think
Maybe
so. I think,
where do you
I think it's
situate
singles
yourself?
now. I think it's back. Like every Friday, I would go to the record store and get my $2 and get the 45 that I wanted that week. And I think that's with iTunes and everything. And it's cheaper to spend 99 cents. And sometimes
It's also more immediate. You know?
it's
You
immediate.
get inspired while you're
there's
on
always
tour in
good-
Calgary, and you go, "Okay, here's
There's
a
always
song
going
on
to be
iTunes."
fans that want to get a hard copy and everything of that. But you can do
Well, this
special
stuff-
things with that too.
This
Right?
stuff sells at shows now, big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
They want this with the autograph. That's,
I wanted
fans want that.
before we go. I wanted to feel like I don't know how long
Well,
we
since
got.
before we go, any last words? Where should we go? KillerDwarfs.com, I guess.
No, it's KillerDwarfsBand.com. Is the
Band.com.
newest site. Yeah,
Okay.
KillerDwarfsBand.com. We lost our other handle.
Yeah.
And iTunes has some of our stuff now. Epic,
Well, iTunes
Epic hasn't
started
released
one.
the other
Well,
stuff
what
yet.
are all the Twitter things and everything?
Twitter
And there's
is
Bandcamp
Twitter.com, Killer Dwarfs.
Killer Dwarfs, yeah.
Yeah, and in Facebook too.
And Bandcamp or
Facebook.com,
something?
KillerDwarfs.com.
Yeah.
There's
The Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.com, Killer Dwarfs.
Right.
I just wanted to tell everybody though before, if we're almost finished. Are we almost finished?
Yeah.
We're
About our
wrapping up.
everybody's got these meet and greets now and you charge money. And Motley Crue, I just heard
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Ours is
Just 15?
$4.
$4. That's not bad.
Meet and greet $4.
That's not bad.
And it can be
And then when
Canadian
you
time.
leave, you get your money back.
Yeah. It can be. It can be.
Nobody does that.
But it can be Canadian
That's just-
Tire
that's
money.
a pure Canadian thing. We give the money back.
You just hold it. It's like coat check money or something. You
Yeah.
just hold on to it.
Oh, we'll hold your coats.
And of course, last thing before we go is I did this Kiss tribute album
Yes.
thing, and you participated.
Awesome.
You did God Gave Rock and Roll to You and Hard Luck Woman.
And I sang on Deuce with.
Deuce with Bill
Everly.
Everly. And it sounded great.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I've had a
sounded
lot of
great.
fun doing it.
And
And it's for a great cause, and
yeah, great cause.
And how much have they raised now? You've raised.
The album raised 25,000.
That's awesome.
iTunes has another, I think, 3,000 coming in after just one,
That's awesome.
whatever page.
That's hard, that's hard to do, man. That's,
Amazing.
this day- that's a lot
Yeah.
of money in this day and age.
Got any
So-
other secrets you're gonna
Sorry.
let out of the bag?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Killer Dwarfs track someday. Who knows?
Maybe
But
you never know.
never know. But thank you.
You're most welcome.
All right,
Mitch.
man.
More acoustic stuff.
No problem, buddy.